Howdy everyone, we're back to more for the 2024 Stoneburner Open for Dune Imperium Uprising. I'm your host and commentator, BlackShadow, and we are coming to the end of the group stages for the tournament now. And today we have a look at Group I. It is the final game of the group here. The table is unbelievably close as well. This group from Europe has been one of the most tightly contested throughout the competition, and even coming into this last game, every single person still to play has a chance of making the quarterfinals direct. It is that close, just 5 points separating the top and bottoms of the tables. And a 6-3-2-1 point structure means that there is a chance for huge, huge swings here. Now, going through who needs what in this group will be a touch complicated for a couple of folks here, so do bear with us here. We'll start with Mongoose, though, who is currently at the top of the table with the 13 points from the 3 games. Now, his top 2 from the group will go through to the quarterfinals. 3rd, 4th, and 5th of the group will have to go through the additional wildcard playoff to get there. Mongoose is guaranteed a top 2 finish, I'm fairly sure. Even if they're the worst-case scenario, they finish, say, last place, Ferry Perry was to win, and Shades was to come 2nd place. Mongoose and Shades would be tied at 14 points apiece, and the first tiebreak of the groups is the matches won, not average points. And so for Mongoose, winning this game will guarantee it. 2nd place would also do, assuming Shades doesn't win, and then 3rd place would also be fine, as well as 4th if Ferry Perry doesn't win as well. So Mongoose will know that it's a bit of a free shot for them to try and get a better draw here. They've done enough work for the group. Now, Shades is guaranteed a spot in the next round in some form or another. They cannot drop out of the top 5. Winning this match, of course, will get them through to the top of the table and prime position for the quarterfinals. 2nd place would also be good enough for them to make the quarters in 2nd place, assuming that Ferry Perry and Heretic do not win. 3rd place is also fine, assuming Ferry doesn't come 2nd. It will come down to tiebreaks, and if Shade was to come last, there's an outside chance they could make it, but it'll come down to some pretty complicated tiebreakers. So realistically, Shade's looking for just a top 2 finish, just to feel fairly certain that they'll be through to the next round. Next up, we'll look at Ferry. Victory here will guarantee them progression through to the quarterfinals in some form. They might even top the group as well if Mongoose comes last, which would be quite the turnaround. If Mongoose comes 2nd, it would be tie breaks. Mongoose has got a pretty heavy point advantage, so not likely to surpass that. With 2nd place, Ferry would be guaranteed a top 5 finish of some form. Finishing with 12 points would be enough for a wildcard spot. 3rd place is asking a lot, however. It's going to come down to some very awkward tiebreakers, and we're relying on Heretic not winning the match as well. Last place simply will not be good enough. The simplest is probably for the Heretic, who is a regular in our competitions, and victory is the only thing that's good enough for Heretic here. They must win in order to have any chance of progression to the next round due to losing all the tiebreaks, because match has been won by a variety of players here. They lose all the tiebreakers, so they must win to get themselves to 14 points. They can't top the table, but there are worlds they might even get through direct to the quarterfinals. If they win and Shades comes specifically last, Heretic would actually jump them, and kudos, and make their way through to the quarterfinals directly in a last gasp effort, which would be some incredible effort, all things considered. But as I say, all players are live coming into this. I'll try and keep track of the standings as we go through the match, because this is a pretty complicated one. They should make for a pretty tense final match. Alright everyone, so we're getting ourselves ready for the match here. It would seem that Green, for the first time on a game I've commentated, has got the first player token. If Ferry, it'll be Shades to pick first in red here. So let's have a look at this here and see what we've got going on for us. Pretty big decisive game here. 2 harvest contracts are the opening ones, so that's definitely interesting. Easier for some players to, resolve than others. It's not bad for like an Irulan. She can, of course, gain extra spice when she hits harvest space with trashing bought cards. It does apply for harvest, but other than that, might not be the most appetizing. It's going to encourage a bit of blocking probably on worm spaces. A couple of very big cards, though, on the opening Imperium row, though. Correct City is a points generator. Also, the early Solari can be really big for like rushing stuff like High Council sort of thing, but it can be a bit tricky to score sometimes and not compromise your other scoring avenues. Capture Mentat is incredibly powerful, and again, this is looking really nice for like looks of Irulan and Emperor Shaddam. We're both going to enjoy the looks of this. And Shishakli as well, very, very popular, very powerful. That Firm Bond and Reveal can be really good. And also just trashing the draw cards is a nice way of kind of cutting the deck down a little bit here. Spike Network as well as unswerving ironing that one out. So let's have a look at the leaders that are missing. Oh, there's no Irulan. What a shame. No Irulan and no Staban. I don't think Staban would be picked here really anyways. We've got 2 cards with no agent icons, which is a little funky here. Spec you'll probably see, like a Fade, Margot, Muad'Dib and Gurney seem the most likely. Shaddam does have options though. There's no of the Suda card contracts out there, which might be of interest, seeing as the ones that are present are maybe a bit tricky to school. And definitely there's some ideas for Shaddam here. But other than that, I suspect this could be a pretty battle-orientated game. So Shades will go first for Gurney, proving to be very popular in 4th position. People just like the leader, pretty flexible, pretty decent. Very, very strong. So the question is, who's going to break ranks first? A lot of battle leaders out there. Heretic will know probably either Irulan or Gurney have been chosen ahead of them. Go for Muad'Dib in 3rd. Muad'Dib pretty popular as well. Looking to obviously hit worms and highline around 7 is going to be the plan most likely. We've got a Lady Jessica from Mongoose in 2nd spot, which is a little bit offbeat. It's the first Jessica game I think I've covered actually in a competition. I could be wrong. Jessica's very complicated. She's a double-sided leader. I'll talk about it a little bit here, but basically, she uses a ring early to get troops to the Bene Gesserit. And whenever you want to, you visit Bene Gesserit, you flip the card over, pull back the memories to draw a load of cards to buy a big card. But some people like flipping Jessica almost immediately, and her alternate side, allowing her to change Spice in the Water, is pretty good. And we do see a bit of that. We don't know a ton about Jessica at the moment. We're still kind of learning. And we do see Shaddam in 1st spot here, so the fighters are all the back end of things here. And it's a fighters conflict as well. It is the Chris Knife skirmish for the daggers. So Gurney, Halleck, and Muad'Dib are going to be going very, very strongly at this, you would imagine. Shaddam opening up with, looks like Deliver Supplies immediately. He's pulled both faction access cards here, so going... It's always a bit tricky, I think, Shaddam in 1st seats to try. Like, I think it's difficult to kind of get to shipping it, which is kind of what you want to do here. Jessica's got 1 faction access, and that's about it. Fremkit's probably going to be forced upon her here, you'd imagine. She wants to draw another card. Don't see a lot else you could do here. No mining access whatsoever, so she can't even look to, like, go to a basin and hit, like, Espionage early or something like that. Could also just go Secrets immediately and flip, but with only City access going, doesn't feel great. You could just go Secrets and flip and just reveal, but I think she's going to go Assembly Hall immediately, eyeing up Corinth City here. That's what she's looking at going here, so the players will know that's coming. Cancer Ambition is found. Muad'Dib's got a very decent reveal hand as well. Double daggers, pulls a Diplo. Gurney's got a bit of everything here. He's got a ring, he's got faction access, so he's going to probably hit Fremkit and then probably just throw his ring at this, assuming no one goes Desert Tactics. The question is someone going to go Desert Tactics here? It's possible. Bit of drawing happening. 2 troops will go in automatically, I think. He doesn't have to, he might leave one out. He's got his ring, they're probably all going in, most likely. But he only has the 1 dagger, which isn't ideal, which means Muad'Dib's likely going to tie him on combat strength, if not beat him outright. The odds of Muad'Dib having no daggers, very unlikely. Shaddam could stay out of this, but he could also just reveal for Captured Mentat now. And he's thinking about it. Could go Secrets, could go Desert Tactics, I guess, but I don't feel like it's a move he really wants to do. No, just going to go Dutiful, stay out of it. He's going to pick up some Harvest contracts. So he's definitely going down this route of picking up water and looking to hit Deep Desert and get to shipping, basically. I think I'd rather pick the free Spice for free Solari. I think it's a bit easier. The 4 for 4 is pretty tough to get hold of, so I prefer going for this one here if you can do it. It's a nice contract. Jessica is just going to flip here. I don't know whether it's better to flip or not, truthfully. Just going to pull a couple of intrigues here using the water. The other part of the Reverend Mother ability is you can spend 1 water once on a relevant space to double the effect. So just drawing a load of intrigues here. Pull Shadow Alliance and reach agreement. Not great. Muad'Dib's going to blast in at Desert Tactics now, and Gurney will know that he can't win. He can't use his Diplo either, so I expect Muad'Dib's just going to probably get it in here. He's got to be concerned of the potential for the... Yeah, he's got no choice. Just going to get it in. Make it certain of it. So Gurney's got a free move here. Gurney's got 5 Persuasion. Could just reveal for Captured Mentat. Could reveal for Shishakli. I think the idea of revealing is pretty nice here. It looks like there's a lot of Persuasion being built up by all your opponents. If you want one of those high tariff cards, you're going to have to reveal now. Otherwise, they could all be gone. And you have no idea what you're revealing for here. But he feels he's got to get the... he's got to get his ring off and get the ability. Pulling the Highlander contract is obviously pretty good as well. So he's just going to have to wait and see what he finds. So Shaddam with 5, I assume, takes Captured Mentat. Behind with 6 is going for Corinth. Which means Muad'Dib's probably going to get Shishakli. And maybe even Unswerving. Unless Shaddam feels he wants to look at a different route here. Wow, he's looking at Spy Network? Wow. That's a surprise. He wants to do this because he wants to guarantee shipping access. That's why he's doing this. Specifically to take the shipping spy and kind of guarantee his route here. To try and guarantee him getting the Swordmaster in like 3.5 rounds. Wow, well, that's a surprise. Well, Jessica's got 6. I still think she's taking Corinth, unless Captain Mentat's there, and she does go for it instead. That's going to upset things. So Muad'Dib with 5, you'd imagine is just going to go Shishakli. Shishakli and Sardaukar Soldier is some interesting pairing, but just going to go for the Fremen Bond. Chani now comes up for 5, which is another good card for Gurney, and he'll be taking that most certainly. So Muad'Dib will win. Gurney gets a pretty cheap 2nd place. The spice and the intrigue. This freaking Public Spectacle comes off now. But everyone's gone through their high persuasion cards. And he gets hold of Cunning. It's not bad, actually, to pull early. It's a nice way of telling that spice you just got to trash a dagger early. Get a bit of a draw going. Try and find some better cards. Yeah. Could be useful. Well. Muad'Dib is liking the looks of this. Is protect the Sietches, and he's got immediate Sietch access. I don't think anyone's blocking him at Hyga Basin either. Shaddam might. But I think it's unlikely. I don't think Gurney's blocking him. I think Muad'Dib is getting to Sietch and Hyga Basin here. Mahaim's got has no water. She'd need to go Imperial Basin first to get the 2 spies and then turn 1 into water, which I think she probably has to do. Fremkit is there. You just want to get troops in here. There's a big fight this. Protect the Sietches round 2 is always pretty wild. It's going to speed up the game here. Huge rewards everywhere. If Muad'Dib can get a hook, it can get worms in at Hyga Basin, he'll be laughing. He's repulled Unswerving Loyalty, by the way, so he gets a bit of garrison for next round. I think Mahaim, yeah, I think has to do this. I think this is kind of mandatory. Got to get those resources going. Economy, really important for Jessica. You must have a strong economy. So, Sietch, obviously in hooks. Gets to draw. Looking for Shishakli. Oh, no, he finds it. Are you kidding me? Now he can deploy as well, so he can put this in freely, because he can always retreat it with Unswerving Loyalty. Unswerving lets you get the troop. The Fremen Bond allows you to retreat or put in a troop there, so he can put this in totally free of charge. He might just go Fremkit and just go for stuff. We'll see. Gurney does not block Hyga Basin. Gurney, not worried about it. Just going to blast away here at our king. I don't think Shaddam is... Okay, Shaddam does make the Hyga Basin block. He cannot put troops in. His ring does not allow him to put any units in during this turn. He gets... He has the free Solari from the contract. He might use that just to go and take the bump with Spacing Guild. Or he could garrison up. No, decides to garrison. So definitely committing himself down the... If he had another mining card, I'm pretty sure he would have just taken the bump there. Mahaim's just going to go Espionage and use up the water here, you'd imagine, and we'll double the effect. So 2 draws, 2 spies. Pretty popular for Mahaim. Reverend Mother basically wants to hit espionage ASAP. She finds captured Mentat. She's not going to be able to use it. Does have the ability to shift influence around the guilds a little bit here. Imagine she'll just take the threatening spine. Does. So Muad'Dib, I think he's just going to go at the Fremen here and just get this alliance ASAP, I imagine. Yep, that's exactly what we see. No surprise. Muad'Dib's got the Fremen alliance in 2 rounds. It's pretty crazy. Gurney's got a free action. Just take the water. And then Shaddam, I assume, is just going to go refinery? And does. And he'll put in... He's going to feel like he's got to put in the 2 troops here with his 2 daggers. Which means Muad'Dib could put the troop in to fight for the spice, but he also might not do so. It's the way it goes. When you're drawing cards, it can happen. Obviously, wanted that for next round. Very powerful agent box is Captured Mentat. The reveal is not so great, but for Jessica and Irulan, it's pretty good, potentially. So it's going to look to go up the Emperor bump here, which is interesting. Some privilege plans, maybe. Reverend Mother's got to be really careful, though. She has no economy right now, and that is a great concern. So Muad'Dib gets +3 swords. It's +3 swords. Not 2. And he does put it in. He's going to fight for the spice here. This is terrible news for Green here. Because they will be tied as it stands for 3rd place. They will get nothing. Now, Mongoose might retreat their troops for reach agreement to get a contract here. The problem with that is it is giving Green 2 spice. Some players were happy to do it. Some players won't. I think Jessica should do it, though. Given the garrisons are getting emptied a bit here. Public spectacle taken for Gurney. Muad'Dib takes B-spoils. Jessica didn't take anything, by the way. Didn't even take Prepare the Way. That's a surprise. And Green with 2 persuasion. Might take a Prepare, and does. So that's the only question. Does Marhaim retreat the troops and deny the spice? I think she should retreat the troops. Acquire contracts out there. Yeah, I think it's the right call. So Green will be relieved they at least get a couple spice out of this. Nothing else to play here. So Muad'Dib will take a useful 2nd place. Gurney will get access to the siege. We'll move on. Players going at a pretty quick rate of knots here. I'll try my best to keep up. Wow. Spice threat is next. Another insane worm combat here. Muad'Dib, you'd imagine, is just... a lot of the time is just going to deliver supplies. Although it's difficult, though. Gurney Halleck has got deep desert access. So, interesting spot here for Muad'Dib. Could go Siege with his ring. And I think he will do to block Gurney and also give himself deep desert options. So, Gurney's going to have to decide if he wants to deep desert now or not. I think Gurney probably has to. He's got his ring. He's got Charney as well. So Gurney could just throw in a load of dudes. Charney's reveal allows you to retreat 2 troops to keep the sword. So I imagine he'll just put this in. And does. So he's got the spice. He just needs to be able to find an offload for it now. We'll probably use Cunning to try and draw a better card. Green was looking for smuggling access. They've got the faction access at the Spacing Guild. I think they're just going to go deliver supplies and probably pull the spy to draw. Spy Network's reveal is if he's got 2 spies down, he can pull 1 up for an intrigue. I think he needs to try and find the shipping access here. Nope, going to keep the spy down. So he's just going to hold his drop powder dry. Maybe looking to just go Assembly Hall to pick up Corinth here. Jessica to Arakeen. Doesn't use a ring for that, interestingly. Hard to get involved here. 2nd place is pretty good, though. But she's going to put them in. This is a matching conflict for her, so she's going to give herself some options. Pyron, of course, has no resources, so she's going to have to fight for it. Muad'Dib will go Hagar Basin and Hook. Diplo will have to sit there. Don't know what Gurney's going to do. I think Gurney has to use Cunning and draw here. Now, the thing is, if he's going to pay the spice to trash, he must do it before the draw. You have to dictate if you're going to do the trash beforehand. He is going to. You can still do the draw before you do it. He finds his dagger. I would have drawn the card first. It's not helping him a lot, though. There's no access. He was looking for something that's not Charney. He could go in with Charney and commit himself at, like, Fremkit or something. It does have city access as well. Maybe some spice refinery sometimes. Oh, of course, Shaddam's going to go after Swordmaster. What am I talking about here? So, yeah, Gurney's got a choice. He could go Intriguing. Muad'Dib will get an Intrigue for the Worm on reveal. So, Gurney's got to decide what he wants to do. Obviously, he was looking for some faction access. Would have been nice. He could go... The problem is he can't get in front of Muad'Dib here. He's only got +1 strength coming. He can play Charney to something to get the intrigue, but I don't think he'll bother. Yeah, he will concede the fight here. So Muad'Dib's going to get a huge run here. This is exactly what Heretic needs. Reminder, Heretic must win this match to have any chance of qualification here. Second place is not going to be enough. Heretic could still make quarters. Swordmaster, Assembly Hall. Behind him takes Leverage. Muad'Dib with 6. Oh my goodness, I've just seen Iraq's rots on the road, by the way. And Muad'Dib picks up Imperium Politics. So Muad'Dib set up here pretty well. Obviously, the retreat. Gurney will have only 4 persuasion. Charney's Fremen Bond is the persuasion. Doesn't have it, so only the 4 to buy. So he can't buy much of anything. Yet he's just realized that, oh, I had 6. No, he does not. So he's going to take Mauler for some Fremen Bond of what he can here. Shaddam's got a free action. He has 5 persuasion. He could go to Refinery to get some money for his ring. I think the fact Coordination's on the row, I think it's totally fine to do that. You want to get your ring going ASAP here. I think it's totally fine. He could reveal specifically it'd be for, like, high places or maybe delivery agreement. But other than that, I think Coordination's fine. I think it's just as fine a card. If you really feel you want to deny... The problem is high places does not pair well with Spy Network. That's a heavy demand on your spies. I think Refinery's fine. Oh, he's got the water. Wow, he draws. Wow. I didn't actually think Shaddam would blast in for this conflict, but he is. Oh my god. Thing is, he's got to deny Muad'Dib here. He blasts in here. Wow. That's pretty wild. But yeah, I mean, Jessica's sitting there with 3 intrigues. Wow, what a... And Yellow's telling Green, don't get involved here. I can win this. They are not in a voice call. So whatever they're chatting about, we can see in the text blocks below. But he decides to go in. Unbelievable. Wow. Well, it's a huge result here for Red. I'll tell you what. He'll be pretty happy he's only got the 1 troop in. Wow. So Ferry's going to take this down. It's only a bump here. Blue and yellow are going to be tied for 3rd place. I mean, it probably had to... Someone had to stop Muad'Dib here. He would have not have won this regardless. But, man. And that's the thing, when you play Muad'Dib, people will play at you. Because people know the danger you can possess, so... It's 3rd place for yellow and blue. Blues gets the paired results. Green's going to get a point here with the spice. Man, that was committing. Well, he's got a battle point. But he's pretty expended here. It's a good result for Red as well. Red is going to be pretty happy. Because they will now be able to start using some power here. Next up's Trade Dispute. Amazing conflict from Muad'Dib. He's going to have to Shishak to Haga Basin, though. This is all going in, of course. The question is, what's Muad'Dib going to do? He's got public spectacle but no spies. Is there a world where Gurney Halleck goes in Highliner here just to win this? And just have a huge garrison? He'd keep Shani fed for the rest of the game. I don't know. Man. The problem now is now that Green decided to go in like this, now they're, you know, what are they going to do next? I suspect they should probably go Imperial Basin to cut off Yellow. You do not want to give Yellow free spice. They've got no water. You need to limit the amount of spice they can get here. That, I think, seems not a bad starting move. You could go Imperial Basin. It gives you shipping as well with your ring, which is what he's going to do. Yep, seems pretty solid this. So Mahaim's in the spot of bother here. She's got a load of intrigues, so she's just going to continue to get them. Picks up Detonation. I don't think she'll be wall breaking a lot here, but chance to deploy from Garrison, which is always nice. She definitely has plans of trying to do some Imperial privilege this game. Muad'Dib continues to just blast it in. Shishakli's going to be played here. Does have Fremen Bond with Unswerving as well. Swords coming. And Red will know that Blue has a lot of swords and a lot of strength here. Effectively 6 swords in hand. So if they want to win it, they've got to commit very heavily. And I can't see him doing that. I think he might just accept the second place here. But it's getting difficult. Gurney's getting kind of edged out here a little bit. He might just espionage and go Haga Basin, maybe. Put a spy up on put a spy up there for Worms. He's constantly getting blocked out by Muad'Dib, who's going to have infinite water here. So Gurney's got to decide what his priorities are. It's Highline or Espionage both seem fairly solid. Espionage obviously plays well for public spectacle later as well. If he wants to win it, he can, but it will be expensive. And Muad'Dib has a lot of strength. Like, this would be a huge... Gurney would have to commit majority of his Highliner to guarantee winning this, because Muad'Dib has a lot of potential power. And Muad'Dib, if he thinks he can win it, will go for it. An Espionage to Haga Basin might be more prudent. Wow. Or the alternative is Gurney Halleck is going to say, alright then, I'm going to charge you the maximum. And he's going to put pressure, try and put pressure on this alliance as well on the side. Wow. This is very aggressive from Shades. Very aggressive from Shades. Reminder, Shades, second place is good enough, but he needs Fairy and Heretic not to win. Of course, Shades wins, it doesn't matter. Did suspect there was going to be a ton of aggression in this game. That's exactly what's going on here. Players really just going at each other at full pelt. Seems hard for Shaddam not to just go, not just hit shipping here, but he's got a free action. He could just send Calculus to, like, deliver supplies for a bump, trash his dagger, and then ship. That way he could get another bump with the space and get his alliance there. And then maybe... Then he's got an additional bump he could take with maybe the Emperor. So he can get Imperial Privilege access. I think that might be good for... I think that's not a bad route for Shaddam. Calculus you want to play here to trash some cards. I think that's what I'd do here. I'd go deliver supplies with the spy access. Don't have to recall the spy. Trash the dagger in hand. And then go shipping. With your ring. This is not about you want anything to do with here. I think that's what I would do. Yep. And he sees it. I think this is the right way to play this. Trash out the dagger. Yep. I think this is good stuff. Just solid, progressing your game here. So here comes Privilege. So Mahaim's going to have a million intrigues here. She's going to have 6 intrigues. Shaddam's favor she's got the Chris Knife matching card, which is a match for her. Mahaim is going to have to use some of these cards as the problem. She will be a potential risk of secret stealing, because Shaddam has all the reason in the world to go secrets next round. And she can't use many of these. She could use free up if she was to use the spice and the Chris Knife. That would trigger leverage, but I don't think she's ever going to do that. So, curious to see what she's going to do here. What is Muad'Dib going to do here? Is Muad'Dib going highliner? Because he's got Imperium politics? I think he's going highliner here. Well, if Gurney Hallett wanted to make Muad'Dib spend the maximum... No, Muad'Dib's he's just going to go to the Emperor. He thinks he's got this. He thinks his 6 swords is going to be good enough for his 6 strength. But it's not. The best he can do is tie. Muad'Dib cannot win this without further intrigue help. Gurney's got a spy. Puts it on the Emperor. So Muad'Dib can't win it unless he gets help from the worm. Here comes the shipping. I think in this second bump, the Emperor looks pretty good for me if I'm playing Shaddam. Bump the spacing, get some money back. And maybe you could go Fremen as well, just to get siege access next round. I guess that's an option. I guess that's also okay. That's what he decides to do. But you should definitely be taking the spacing alliance with this. It's just basically the bumps on the house, unless you really want to get to Imperial privilege. But I don't see any reason to do that right now. Yeah, this seems pretty good. So Mahaim's got 6 persuasion. There's powers out there. She'll go after high places, I imagine, and does. Faction spies are all gone. She does not have Swordmaster yet. Of course, she can look to lift some of these spies for persuasion later on, but she kind of needs them. Is Mahaim going to use any of these intrigues right now? I don't think so. There's not a ton of stuff there she can use. She's going to detonate to just put a troop in, I think, just to get some water. She does want it, obviously, for her ability. I think detonation, just a limp a troop in, is fine. And she'll just kind of roll from there, basically. So what's Muad'Dib going to do here if he pulls no battle intrigue? Does he find one? He does not. He finds stockpile, which is still pretty good. But he cannot win. Yeah, want to make sure that's correct before Muad'Dib puts this dude in here. To make sure that the battle strength's good, so he realizes he can't actually win this. Because this might change his opinion. And realize that Gurney hadn't put the sword on. Now Muad'Dib might decide not to do this, for example. It might pull it back. Yeah. Didn't want there to be, like, he's put it in, and assuming he's going to win it, and then realizes it's wrong there, so... I'm glad I spotted that. But I think he's still going to leave it in and force a tie break here, and not allow Gurney to win this. Which is exactly what happens. And Shaddam might take... He's got to prepare already. He's going to take that, because he's looking to trash it with Calculus. Makes sense. Alright. So, nothing to play here. Muad'Dib and Gurney will tie for second place. Load of card trashes. Jessica with third. No combat matches yet after 4 rounds. We'll move on. Muad'Dib running a 9-card deck currently. First walled conflict of the game. Secure the Imperial Basin. I tell you what, that gives Gurney good reason to go siege here. A, it gives him hooks, and B, it stops people blowing the wall right now. But of course, Muad'Dib's got Arrakis Revolt, so it may not make a big difference here. He's got coordination. He does want to go to Imperial Privilege this game. I think he's definitely setting himself up for it. The problem with this, though, is that he's got to... The problem is that the really good part of Imperial Privilege is the ability to cycle intrigues. That's, I think, the really good part of it. And obviously doesn't have any right now. I think Siege is an obvious first move. You've taken the Fremen bump. You basically commit yourself down here. High Persuasion hand. Mahaim, I imagine, is just going to... Arakeen. She's going to get stuck in. Shaddam's Favor is going to be used here as well, you'd imagine. It's not a match for her, though. Maybe she's going to hold on to that for fodder here. She's obviously, secret shooting is possible. So she feels it's an intrigue she's okay to lose here. No one else is anywhere near Swordmaster. Like, Shaddam's got Swordmaster. No one else has made any inroads on the Solari. No one has bothered yet. Mahaim's going to obviously get close with Corinth here. She's not going to play it. But both Muad'Dib and Gurney have not made any attempt to get some money, so they figure they've got to start getting some action economy. They're really starting to struggle on this front. Muad'Dib will be going in with... Well, there's another throw and bump for him. That'll feel pretty nice with the a bit of annoyance with Gurney Halleck there. It is a match for Gurney. His garrison's empty. Highlander's sitting there. It's round 5. Obviously, it's a really good contract to have for round 7, but he doesn't have the spy there, and he will be a bit worried about Muad'Dib cutting him off in round 7 for Highliner. He can't guarantee access. That might influence him to go Highliner sooner rather than later. Also, if he can win this, he gets shipping access as well. He's going to bide his time and wait. Takes both Emperor bumps and calls it a day. Yep. He's going to wait and see what happens. I think Highliner could well be coming here. I think he's going to pull the trigger. Whether it's right or not is another question, but I have a feeling he's going to pull it. It gives him the spy, shipping access. It's a match for him. It's troops later on. He's got to start winning some conflicts as well. I can definitely see him getting dragged into this. Shaddam desperately wants intrigues, but can't get any. Unless he's willing to go like Assembly Hall and then Privilege and that. But that just seems kind of a waste of time here. No access to the Emperor either. Sardaukar is not doing a lot. Just going to cycle. Get his Diplo in hand. I hope he was intending to use it. Start getting Sardaukar contracts going. Yeah, looks like it. And he is. Obviously for coordination. Makes sense. Mahaim might just be going tactics here, I think. No, secrets again. Just going all in on intrigues here. Trying to intrigue her way out of trouble, but she's not finding anything like... She's finding alright stuff. Go to ground, the other retreat contract, Inspire Raw now. She could get Benny's sister in her hand here, if she wanted. But I think she'll assume she's going to... It's a card she wants, though. I might be tempted to just play Inspire Raw and just get it in hand. So, Arrakis Revolt can only go to the research station, which he's more than willing to do. So, wall goes. Ton of swords. How much is Muad'Dib willing to commit here? He's got 5 strength in hand. But Mother Mahaim is sitting there with 7 intrigues. I think it's going to force Muad'Dib to put it all in here. Yep. Is Gurney pulling it? He is pulling the trigger. He is going in. It's all going in here. Again, I do not know if this is the right decision, but it's premeditated. He figures he's going to get 2 of those troops back. Well, apparently Muad'Dib does. This is premeditated from Gurney Halleck. I don't think this is a choice that he's made at the start of this round, and he's decided to see it through. I don't know if it makes sense now with the violence that's already gone on here. I don't think this is a good move anymore, considering how heavily Muad'Dib has committed himself to this fight as well. But he doesn't figure he's got much else to do. He's gonna gamble here. Shaddam's got to move. I mean, do you just Diplo? But what do you Diplo? There's not a lot to Diplo here, truthfully. He can't get espionage. He's already got the Fremen access. Could go Desert Tactics just to garrison and trash. You got 7 Persuasion reveal. There's nothing out there that's that appetizing, I don't think, to reveal early, so... Yeah, of course. He'll feel a little bit aggrieved that he's not found a stronger set of intrigues. Just goes High Council, just setting himself up for later. I guess this is fine. There's no great Diplo options other than like deliver supplies. So 5 slurry for Jessica. She can't win it. No battle intrigues. So she will just be retreating troops here. Shaddam's going to get a couple of swords, though, by the way. She's not going to be able to do too much here. Inspire Roar to take branching for the Benny Alliance. So Muad'Dib's coming in with 5 swords, gets another intrigue. This will put him tied with Gurney again. Gurney hates to see it. But he's drawing most of his deck every hand is the problem. So he knows he's going to get a lot of swords. Any battle intrigue? There it is. We finally find one. Fine Weakness is going to do the job. Those 2 swords are going to win him this fight here. This is a big result for Muad'Dib. And it's a big blow for Red as well. It's a huge blow for Gurney Halleck, this. Real disaster for Gurney Halleck. And I think Red is in huge trouble now. Dreams of a top 2 finish are slipping away. It is true that this is beneficial for Shaddam. The combat tying, but no more here. Spacing Guild favor taken there. So just taking make a keeper. Again, the plays again so fast. I can't really show too much of like the details of the cards here. I know I get asked for it in a couple of videos, but they're just going so damn fast. So Gurney gets 3 swords. I make that. Yep, he gets a double sword for the corporation. So Mahaim can't even retreat anything here because she loses the battle. Good. So Mahaim's Jessica's in a bit of bother here. 7 Persuasion, Price an Object seems an obvious take here. He's looking at Desert Power for Worms. Surely Price is the correct choice here. Surely Price is the correct choice here. Yeah, it has to be that. It does go for it. So Jessica can't even retreat unless she's willing to give up the rewards here because of the swords from Shaddam. Really awkward. Might feel it's worth it just to save the troops. She's basically giving up a water for a spy. And she's going to do it. So Shaddam's going to get himself a bonus water here in his troop back. There's Fine Weakness. Finally a battle and Troop of Swords. Which will do. So Muad'Dib will take this down. And Red's in all manner of trouble now. Red in real strife. Bad place for him to be here. Heretic's got his foot in the door now. And he feel like he's got a reasonable chance of trying to convert this and win. And again, he must win this game to get through to the next round. Which damn is his concern. Jessica's up. Shadow contest it is. She won't be the happiest to see this. Just going to continue to go down the intrigue route here. It's getting a little gimmicky, this, truth be told. Maybe saw that one game of Muad'Dib where he had 4 endgame points. And figures, I can do that as well. I'll just match all of my combats with, the endgame symbols. So Contingency and Devour found next. Neither that great. Pause Distraction as well. I mean, they're okay. They're all kind of odds and sods cards, but I think she'll feel a little bit aggrieved that she's not found stuff like, stockpiling, unexpected allies. There's some very strong ones out there, and she hasn't come across many of them. All bits and pieces, but, if you're just going to go down the massive intrigue route, you're leaving it to chance. This is not it's not a particularly consistent strategy. Muad'Dib's got Shishakli and Arrakis Revolt again, and Unswerving Lord, so he's got literally City and Mining Access, and that's it. That is literally it. That's the one downside Muad'Dib's got. He has no faction access in his deck. Most of his faction bumps are coming from trying to win these fights. It makes this a must-win fight for him. He feels he's just got to get this. So, more worms, more combat, beast spoils. He also doesn't want to use the spicing, of course, too much because he's got strategic stockpiling, so... It's single-minded, this. There's nothing fancy about this at all. He's got, obviously, a half bump with Imperium politics. That'll be basically his Emperor point here. Muad'Dib basically is just himself to just... his plan is just win every single fight. That is the way he's looking at this. Win every single fight. It's pretty hard for people to, you know... Gurney tried to stop him there last time and made his commitment. I do not have any idea what Gurney Halleck's going to do now, by the way. This looks really bad. He's got no Swordmaster. This looks really, really bad. You took your big shot, and it didn't work. If Heretic wins, Shade has to finish second place to stay in with a top 2 shot. And even then, it will come down to points tie breaks. Heretic will climb. They started about a percentage point away, so a lot of that distance could get closed here. Heretic wins. Shade needs to be a fairly close second place. Otherwise, it's the wild cards for him. Horrible position, this. Like, this is really bad. Just gonna go Refinery. Get his extra water from the Fremen. And he's gonna threaten Deep Desert. He's gonna threaten it. Does get the water from the... Yeah, he has to take a water from the Fremen. He has the persuasion here. Oh, it's a spice, my apologies. So, yeah, which he did take. I guess he did. Well, it's up to the table. It's not my business. If they want to say yes, that's cool. If they don't want to, someone wants to object, that's, you know, you could argue. Turns past, it's fizzled. It's not my business. So Shaddam has a real issue here. Shaddam knows he's got a good chance to try to win this game. The problem is, winning this is really tough. He has access to Deep Desert in 6 spice. The problem is he has to go there in his ring. He cannot get worms in here. But 6 spice gets him to Sardaukar. He's got Prices No Object as well. Gives him future spice refinery. Prices No Object's a really good card, by the way. It lets you, when you play it, you can basically take cards into your hand. You pay with Solari. So a good strategy is to try and get a ton of cash. And then use Price. You literally can just buy Spiceless Flows into your hand. It's amazing. But it is expensive. Shaddam is gonna wait. Spiceless Flow, he wants to guarantee here. So he's gonna wait and see what happens. Mahim Swordmasters. Or Jessica's, so I keep calling everyone Mahim. It's a thing. I assume Muad'Dib's just going to go Imperial Basin here. Just build up spicy. He's thinking, well, now he can look to Highline and still have enough for stockpiling. That's what he's thinking here. Even though Muad'Dib's got no action economy, the problem is no one else really has, so he's getting away with it a lot here. It's not a match for him, though. So he's only going to get a point. More intrigues. He's going to have to use Imperium politics as well to clear out his hand. Gurney Halleck in just all manner of strife here. Research Station is not a bad idea. It gives him his 6 cash so he can get hold of Swordmaster, but it's pretty late now. If he had intrigues, he could maybe look at Imperial Privilege, but he doesn't. He could research station, draw 3 cards, but it's, you know, he probably will get to a Spice Must Flow. And of course, he's got always smiling, so if he's got a 6 combat strength, he gets persuasion back. He's got the contract for it. I don't hate it. He does not have the influence with Prepare the Way, though, to get the draw, so it's only what he sends it to. He can't get high counts. Is he really just going to go to Sichi? He's going to hold on to the sword here. For reasons, I guess. I guess it's because he doesn't want to actually draw here. So Shaddam will take the spice. Now, will he Sardaukar? Why +2 troops? Just right-click the garrison. Unless there's something I'm missing here. There was? Okay. I'll take your word for it. Did he? Okay, cool. Yeah. Look weird to me, but happy with it. Cool. I don't think Shaddam can ever fight here. But he does have the potential to do so. With Sardaukar and questionable, he's got it. So she gives up. She gives up the match here. Just to free down her hand here. Gives up the Chris Knife endgame point. Wow. Remember, Mongoose just needs to finish top 2. Top 2 and he's guaranteed into the quarterfinals. If he comes last and Heretic wins it, however, that's also okay. It'd be Fairy Perry's the problem. He doesn't mind too much if Blue wins this overall. So what Mahaim's going to do here, she's going to look to shift with captured Mentat away from the Bene Gesserit to then re-hit it and just keep going down the intrigue route. So Muad'Dib's got +5 swords. Does he want to pull back here? Well, he finds the mouse match, which is no good for him right now. I think he's just going to put it in. He knows the potential threat that Shaddam Carino could present here. I think this is too important to win. So he's happy just to spend it here. Which looks ridiculous on paper, but I get it. So Gurney's got free to buy. Not interested. Shaddam's got a couple of options. Could go the Emperor just to get the point and privilege access. Espionage is also open. Could get it with price. Doesn't have to pay for a card into hand. Third place isn't doing a lot here, truthfully. The most he could do here at the moment is 13 strength. Sardaukar coordination for 4. He's not even going to bother. Just going to get the Spice Must Flow and just call it a day. And just take the point here. So it's fair enough here. So it's largely a battlefield concession now. Muad'Dib basically just being... basically everyone's just giving up on conflict at this point. And it means Heretic's looking pretty good to win this. If he wins, he gets to 14 points. He can't beat Mongoose due to tie breaks. Shade could still beat him with second place. But it's not looking good for Red here at all. In real strife here. So Heretic might well get through. Sorry. So, cheap second for Shades. I guess he'll take it, but, you know. What are you going to do? 2 intrigues for Muad'Dib. Finds the other distraction. Oh, no. Oh, dearie me. And this is looking now just very snowbally for Blue. Desert Mouse pays to stop piling as well. He can just blitz Highliner now and look to try and end this game. Arakeen it is. It is a Chris Knife match. Can he find a second spy? He can with distraction. Can he score 5 points here? He definitely could. I think Wardeep's going to just end this now and just end it. Go all in. If he gets the spacing friendship, which he can, and he gets a worm in, which he obviously can, he's got stockpiling. He can just win the fight. This looks over here. This looks very over from Wardeep. I'll zoom out a touch. You can kind of see a bit of all these intrigues going on. It doesn't really matter when Wardeep puts this. He's just kind of wherever it's going to block, really. I don't think he's ever using it. But yeah, this looks pretty over. Spice's power as well. I don't think Wardeep's going to be stopped here. Because he can just win 4 points in conflict. Match, double points, and the spy here. Yeah. He doesn't even need strategic stockpiling. So, I think Wardeep's going to take this down. I don't see how Shaddam's going to catch up here. Shaddam would somehow have to win this fight. And how on earth is he going to do that? He'd need to find Highlander access. Can anyone do anything to stop this? Gurney might just commit himself at Deep Desert. He's just going to Sword Master and Garrison. The problem is I don't feel like this is doing a ton. I think you've got to try and take the initiative here. I think you just... Yeah, I think it's Gurney. Like, if you're going to do something, you've just got to get stuck in here. The players must realise that Blue is looking to just end this now. Wardeep's a little fortunate in a way that this isn't like a money conflict. That would have been awkward. Propaganda would have been interesting. This is a pretty good conflict for Blue, this as well, all things being honest. But, yeah, not looking good. Shaddam's got no water. This could well be just basically a battle for second place now. Mongoose is guaranteed to finish on at least 14. That's the yellow player. It doesn't matter. That's how he knows he's pretty much in the clear here. And Heretic knows it. So, as far as I know, so yeah, if Mongoose comes last in yellow, it's 14 points, but with 2 victories. So she wins all tie breaks, assuming Heretic wins this. No one else would have won 2 games, so someone else would have to get to 15 points. Shades can only get to 14, and Ferry can only get to 12. So if Heretic wins this, Mongoose is guaranteed into the quarterfinals. So we'll be more than happy, ultimately, with Blue winning this game. It's a pretty decent result for him. Mongoose would top the table, and Heretic would finish second. So it's going to be a scramble here. Basically it's on red and green to stop Blue winning this, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen at all here. I think this is going to be basically over. Mahayam just pulling all the intrigues. Another detonation. Unexpected. Opportunism she has. It's not really helping her. Trash Shadow Alliance, I guess. I mean, it's like, what do you want to do here? I mean, Wardeep's done what he's had to do here. Like, he's not had a lot of competition in fights. Obviously, getting Arrakis Revolt was huge as well. Just went down the battle route immediately. They all kind of spiraled from when Shaddam kind of, like... You know, someone could have tried to take Shishakli away from Wardeep, didn't. Everyone had high persuasion hands. And it's just gone from there, basically. Just gone all in on combat, and no one's been able to do anything about it. Red took their shot a few rounds ago with the Highliner all in, but Muad'Dib found the Sword Intrigue. They didn't have it at the time. It was going to be another tie. And since then, it's been just unstoppable stuff here for Muad'Dib. Pretty solid stuff here. Done all he needed to do. Tactical option found now. She's doing this with the branching path here. She's now got the alliance back, basically. That's why this is going on. So Muad'Dib's just got to just keep piling in, basically. If you can find a spiceless flow on the side, great. Siege research station looks pretty good if you ring. Could just go Arakeen if you want as well. Muad'Dib can kind of do whatever he wants here. I imagine he'll go Siege to research station, is my assumption. No, he just worm it this way. Doesn't really matter. I don't see how anyone's going to stop him here. But yeah, it's been really brutal for Red as well. Red has done what they could here. They took their shot, but just did not happen. Best I can think for them to do is like research station with Charney, get it in, get an intrigue, and then public spectacle and like pick up like the Emperor Alliance. It's about the only thing I can think of they could do to score a point here. Because they've got the research station contract, so they can spy up the Emperor. And they should get the Alliance. I don't think they can be stopped. So at least it's a point. At least it's an intrigue. But this has been a pretty comprehensive stuff here. Very Perry with second place will be good for the wildcards. I believe. They'll finish at 12 points. So Heretic will be finishing 14 along with Mongoose as it stands. Probably. Gurney with Shades will finish with 12 or 13 points. So I think Ferry will make a top 5 finish here. Didn't she is. They feel like they've got to try to stop Muad'Dib winning, and I suppose it's true, but there's not a lot they can really do here. Green's also going to have a try here, but Muad'Dib's just sitting on Spice's power. Like there's no way they're going to be able to stop him here. He's sitting on about like 26 strength or something. I just can't see how anyone catches. But who knows? Weird things happen in this game, I guess. Mahayam, for all of her intrigues, has not gotten very far. She can't even get the money together for... she can't even get the money together for Corinth. Only gives +4. Shanam's favour is in hand and would give free Solari, but she needs free persuasion with... Oh, actually, no, she can actually play it. She can play Corinth to... Oh, what's she doing? She'd actually have played Corinth to the Emperor at Dutiful and then got the free Solari and then been able to plash in Corinth for a point, by the way. So, I think that's a little inaccurate, but... yeah, it's not a big deal. Call to arms for Muad'Dib. Doesn't really matter. Unless someone can muster up 27 strength. I don't see what's going to be stopped here. Yeah. They know it's over. It's been over for a bit. Mahayam in Fury could, like, somehow chase it down, but... I don't know what Mahayam's going to do here. Her only thing I can think she does is, like, gather support and... there is a chance. Mother Mahayam... Yes. So, Mother Mahayam is... Reverend Jessica here. She's looking at gather support and paying for the water. The idea is she gets garrison up to 4 troops. She's going to get a worm in as well with unexpected allies, and then devour and tactical, but I don't think it's enough still. She's at 6. Gather Support would be 14. The dagger would be 15. Unexpected allies would be 18. Tactical 20. And devour would be 24. It still would not be enough. Because Muad'Dib's sitting with Spice's power. But it is a route that would stop him. In theory, if Muad'Dib didn't have any battle intrigues. Which I guess is there. So, you know, good on Mongoose for thinking it's at least a way to... It's obviously different because we're sitting here looking at everything. We see all the cards and we realise there's nothing that yellow can actually do. But if Muad'Dib didn't have any intrigues, that is a route for Mahim to get ahead of here. They're going to be horribly disappointed. Horribly disappointed. Gurney's just going to chuck the worm in. Not much really to do here. Emperor bumps about the best thing he got. He's trying to work out, did he put the troops in? There's no point. He might as well hold on to them and hope that somehow he gets... there's another round and he gets some value out of them. Not much else to be done here. Shaddam has got an action. Now, Ferry does not want blue winning this at all. Preferably. Although second place is kind of a weird spot here. So there are worlds where green might legitimately consider going gather support just to get in the yellow's way and say, well, if blue wins, I still do all right. But not getting involved. Just going to take the point here. They figure they're probably good for a top 2 anyways. They trash the Imperial Soldier using Countless's ability to trash cards in play on when it reveals. Gets an extra intrigue. Change allegiances is found. Can't do much with it. They could take the Emperor Alliance, but they have to drop a point elsewhere, so... Not really doing anything for them, unfortunately, here. I think they'll just be hoping that blue wins this, and that they just finish second place. And I mean, obviously, the argument is as well, it could still win it. Like, if blue was to lose this conflict, like, I don't know if I'd say green is favourite to win the match, but he'd be in with a decent shot. He is going to play change allegiances here, and he is going to go ahead and just, basically just turning it into money. That's obviously for price of no object, hoping there's another round. Not even willing to pay the free spice? Guess he's looking at shipping. Anyway, so here comes Mahim. She's going to do her damnedest. Gurney with 7. Not much to do. And here comes Mahim. She will do her best. So, detonation gets the troops in. For 8 strength. And unexpected allies will be +3 with the worm. Tactical and devour will give +6 swords. But Muad'Dib knows he's fine. Most likely. He will be a little bit uncomfortable with this. Mahim could have, you know, Jessica even... I keep saying Mahim. Jess could have Spring the Trap. She could have, you know, questionable methods. There's some uncomfortable things that she could have. But Spice's power, knowing you're sitting on 6 swords, is incredibly, incredibly strong. Yeah. So, there's the worm. I don't say, if I'm Muad'Dib, I'd be like, it's a little uncomfortable, but you'd still feel pretty likely. You know she's got something, so you're going to have to play Spice's power. If she's somehow got enough strength to beat you, it's kind of unlucky, I guess. Green won't bother. Here comes all the strength. And here comes Spice's power, and that will put an end to it. Heretic wins! And he's through to the quarters. Nope. Absolutely not. That's enough actually for Shades to actually pick up an intrigue here, but I don't think it's going to make much difference. We'll see what Shades pulls as an intrigue. They get 2. Chosen Prophets, no good. Siege Ritual also doing nothing. Players just kind of working out here. We have a Solari tiebreak between Mongoose and Shades for fourth place, by the way, which is pretty wild. Pretty all over the place score track, actually. Mahai will win it by 3 coins. Yeah, this is really, really brutal for Shades. He did what he could here. He took the shots where he can, but with Muad'Dib on your right, Lighters just completely brazen with confident everything that was going on. There was, he took his chance with the Highland contract. I do think, given the aggression in front of him, I think he had to try to wait for one more round. But it's difficult, because Muad'Dib's sitting over Tunnel Spice. I get totally why Red took the punt. But unfortunately, it was ill-timed at best. And I do think as well, Green, I think, played pretty decently, all things considered, with all the cards going around him. This is a game that he I think gave himself the best chance to try to win it. Just needed the combats to spread a bit more. Unfortunately, the way it goes in Uprising, if you kind of take a very non-combative style, if one of the players on the table just wins all the conflicts, like, you're never going to beat them because the combat rewards are just so huge with worms and such. They did obviously make the big move early in the earlier round with the research station in order to try to stop Muad'Dib winning it, although it turned out Yellow had the tie anyways. I don't know if that was a good move or not. I really don't know. It was a big commitment of resources. They did get the battle point out of it, and they did take it down, so I can't think it was a bad move, and I think they realized early that Blue was obviously something they had to stop, but regardless, I think played pretty solidly. It was going to be always hard to win this game given how it was kind of running around the table. There's not much you can really do to stop that. So I think second place and just guaranteeing those spots and just getting yourself there seems to be the best he could have done. So here's a look at the table at the end of it. And all 4 of these players will be progressing in some form, which is quite remarkable when you think about it. Mongoose does top the table, guaranteed with the Heretic victory, who gets himself from 8th place all the way to the quarterfinals, which is a real huge result. Fairy Perry and Shades, unfortunately, will have to go through the extraditional wildcard round along with Kodos, which means there is a Munaim who will narrowly miss out with 11 points, but really close around. Every player here scoring at least 10 points in the group. Very competitive, really good stuff to see. And I think goes to show that the strength of this group. I knew when this one got drawn in the draw a few weeks or so ago, this one was going to be completely a wide open game and a wide open group, and it's proved to be so. Really, really good stuff. But with that done, we're going to end this one here. So thank you much for watching. Curious to know your thoughts on this one. It was a pretty all over the place game, really. Tons of violence early. And then, once Heretic kind of got over the back here, once he found the intrigue to get through the the trash battle, I think it was, and get over the line there, it was just basically non-stop from there, and was just had too much of everything and was never going to be realistically heavily challenged in conflicts. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves. See you in the next conflict.